Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your new moon in Gemini message. It is a collective general reading. So as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means that it is meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Also, two quick things. If you hear a humming in the background, I have to have the AC on. I've been recording all day. It's late in the night. Had a very hot day, and this is an attic workspace that I have, so it is over 100 degrees up here. And two, chubby little 14-year-old man in the back there is Mr. Samuel. So if you see him running around, he got some new catnip toys today that he's playing with. All right, now that all of that's out of the way, let's tap into the Aquarius energy now. For the Aquarius collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. We'll start off with an oracle card from the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck, and let's get a card for you for your new moon in Gemini message for the Aquarius collective. Thank you. We have Transmute and we have Power. At the bottom of the deck, we have Safe Travel. Behind that, we have Water. Okay. Let's get a Moonology card here for you. Transmute, card number 44, and Power is card number 46. Let's get a Moonology card here, please, for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements for their new moon in Gemini message. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Well, we just had a full moon in Gemini season. Actually, was a full moon in Sagittarius. I believe that was May 29th, something like that. It was a blue moon, which is interesting because the moon on this card is actually blue. It was a blue moon because it was a rare moon because we had two full moons in one month. At the bottom of the deck, we have conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse, and surrender to the divine, another full moon card. All three of your cards here are full moon, so something is coming to an end, cycling out, changing. Tell me more about this here for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Why is Transmute and Power and the answers you need are coming their new moon in Gemini message? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Five of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Pentacles, Strength card, and Nine of Pentacles. Five of Swords. What is this Five of Swords? This looks to me like chaos, conflict, arguments, disruption. Tell me more about this Five of Swords here for Aquarius. One more shuffle. Thank you. Could be manipulation for some of you. Five of Swords is clarified by the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. It's a lot of queens back to back to back. Let me see what that Page of Cups is. Because what it looks like to me is that there has been an emotionally disappointing situation, environment, or connection in your life or experience. It has plagued you for quite some time. You have been emotionally vacant or absent from this particular connection, meaning it has not really emotionally fulfilled you. And I don't know what that is or who that is, I should say. Professional, platonic, or romantic connection here in your life. But smack on the heels of this ending is a new beginning. And there's something a little bit concerning here. Now, if this is work, that's a different story. Job is ending, you have a new job. But if this is like a romantic partnership, it's like on the heels of one ending, you're entering another one. There's like no time to transmute what occurred here. Page of Cups. Tell me about the Page of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. Page of Cups is clarified by Queen of Wands, Seven of Wands, and the Sun. Bottom of the deck, Temperance. Page of Pentacles. Why is the Page of Pentacles here? One more shuffle. Thank you. Page of Pentacles is clarified by Five of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and Strength. Bottom of the deck, Three of Wands, the Magician, and the Seven of Cups. Okay. I have a group of you here where you have a situation, environment, or connection that has ended or is in the process of ending. I'm not the Jerry Springer of tarot reader, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I'm not a clickbait type of reader. There's clearly something here. You've been worried about it for quite some time, thinking about it for quite some time. You've not been emotionally fulfilled or satisfied. If this is a job, we don't have like any pentacles here for representing this job. So it's like one that doesn't pay you enough, or pay you adequately, or maybe even pay you on time. So whatever the situation, environment, or connection is here that's been plaguing you for quite some time, that you've decided to end, either by force or by choice, it's coming to an end in your life. On the heels is a new beginning. Now again, if this is a job ending and you're entering another job immediately, fair enough. If this is a relationship ending and you're immediately hopping into a new relationship, either way, I feel like there's something not quite right here. Even if that's a job, we're not transmuting any of the pain that we experience from that ending, or the disappointment. So there's something like, okay, this was disappointing, this hurt, this either came to an end or was a terrible act of betrayal, and now I'm just going to move on to the new, and I'm just going to pretend everything is fine. Page of Cups is holding the Ace of Cups. I'm moving towards a new opportunity, the new situation, the new environment, the new connection. Queen of Wands, I'm feeling good. Someone here is interested in me, either to hire me, collaborate with me, work with me, ask me out on a date. Seven of Wands, I'm like living in my own little bubble here where the sun is shining and everything is wonderful. But I feel like your real power, because we're clarifying transmute and power, your real power here doesn't come from you pretending that this is okay, or doesn't bother you, or doesn't hurt, or doesn't sting. This seems to be a little fake here. I have to be honest, as an Aquarius moon. And I know that you're the king and queen of, emotional detachment. And I very much admire that quality in the Aquarius collective, because you're represented by the King of Swords for a reason, okay? And you're exceptionally brilliant when it comes to making those types of very logical, rational, fact-based decisions for yourself. But you are completely ignoring the pain here that has been caused by this betrayal, ending, or emotional loss. Again, even if this is work, you're just like starting the new job the next day or the next week, and it's like, we're never going to think about that other job again. So we're not processing the pain. And I think that's what we need to do. Like, your real power comes from transmuting that pain, turning pain into power, as opposed to just pretending everything's fine and, oh, I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with that person, place, or thing anymore. Page of Pentacles is clarified by Five of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and the Strength card. It takes a lot of strength to continue to try to portray yourself as the Nine of Pentacles when you're really not. I'm single, free, independent of that issue. I don't have to deal with that person ever again. But on the inside, when no one is looking, you're the Five of Pentacles. There's sadness, there's remorse, there's regret, there's grief. So there's a loss here that you're experiencing, financial or emotional, maybe both for some of you. And you're trying to portray yourself as everything is fine and right on time. And again, I can appreciate you wanting to emotionally detach, but this should be looked at. I know that you're now moving in another direction. You're moving away. Some of you are like physically moving, like because of this ending. Like if this was a relationship, some of you are going to like move close to water, something like that, creek, lake, ocean. But I'm not talking like 20 blocks away or there's a river running through the town. I mean like on the water. But there's a feeling here of like you're not really addressing this. Tell me more about the Five of Swords, Eight of Cups, and Ten of Swords. And look, Ten of Swords is a sliding scale. This could be like you and your person had a really terrible argument and you guys are just back together again, and it's like reconciliation, and we're not addressing this. And I think you're giving away your power either to this person or to the experience by not feeling us. I think you need to feel this. I think you need to process this. And I don't think you're quite doing that. I think you're just ignoring and jumping into the next thing, whether, again, that's reconciliation or a new situation, environment, or connection. Tell me about that. 5 of Swords, 8 of Cups, 10 of Swords. What transpired here? One more shuffle. Thank you. And I'm not saying you got to walk around crying all day long. I've been going through some difficult stuff. I'm still here doing the reading for you. But when the camera's not on, I do allow myself some time to process what I'm experiencing. And I feel like I have a group of you here where you're really not doing that. Justice, 2 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. So justice, that's Libra. Libra is the house of marriage, contracts, partnerships, relationships, whether they're professional, platonic, or romantic. Either you or the other person, 10 of Cups and the Devil to the 8 of Wands here. Either you or the other person or people involved had a decision. They could have done the just, right, fair, honorable thing, whatever that is to you for your particular situation, and they chose not to. Instead, they mishandled the situation. Now, you could have mishandled it or they could have mishandled it. I don't know. It's a general collective reading. But there are at least 2 people involved here. I say at least because 5 of Wands sometimes could be a couple of people. So take it how it resonates. But you or the other person or you or the other party could have handled this differently. Even if you wanted to end this or they wanted to end it, they could have handled it differently. And they chose not to, or you chose not to. And it created emotional loss and betrayal and maybe financial loss. It's like making a really, really bad decision at work and then getting fired for it. You know, it's stepping out on your partner and now you're faced with a divorce. It's keeping someone waiting for a commitment until they walk out of your life. You know, so I feel like both parties played a role to some degree in this, but obviously that percentage is going to be different. 90%, 10%, 75, 25, you get the gist. But I feel like there was participation on 2 people's part here. Like, it took 2 people to make this, and it took 2 people to break this. And the breaking could have been handled differently. Someone made the choice to not handle the situation as well as they could have. Now, again, maybe some of you want to reconcile with this person and some of you don't. I don't have the World card here, so I'm not sure if this is like definitively closing out, although the cycle has to close out. The chapter has to close out. Whether you're going, whether you keep this person or these people in your life or not, the chapter itself needs to close, and the only way you're going to do that is to feel that pain. Unfortunately, you're going to have to feel it to heal it. I mean, the Ace of Cups is a nice distraction, but that's all it is. You can't insulate yourself and keep yourself in a bubble forever. Tell me more about that 7 of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. 8 of Wands, High Priestess, and the Queen of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 4 of Swords, 7 of Cups, and the Empress. Who's this? Can we get a yes or no on this, please? One more shuffle. Thank you. 4 of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom of the deck, the Empress shows itself again. I feel like you want to communicate with this person. Whether like I said, you created this 10 of Swords or you didn't create the 10 of Swords or you participated in it happening. I have a group of you here that you do desire to communicate or speak to this person. They could be a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn, but you're resisting doing that. So I have a group of you here where you you very much would like to talk to this person about what happened, but you're choosing not to. Instead, you're just moving towards something new. Something that you feel would be emotionally satisfying for you. But with that Devil energy to the 10 of Cups, it's an illusion. And the reason why it's an illusion is because if you don't heal this, you're going to carry this into the next situation, environment, or connection. And I think that's why this is your new moon in Gemini message. Like, conclusions are within reach, this cycle is closing out or wrapping up or something like that is happening. But I feel like you need to address what occurred here. And there is a group of you that desires to talk to this person, but you're holding yourselves back from doing that. Anything else we need to know about this? And then we'll get you a couple of different sets of advice. Anything else you need to know about this? One more shuffle. Thank you. Hermit, the Death card, and the Two of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles. Virgo energy is healing. I think you're bypassing your healing. And Seven of Swords, you're sabotaging yourself. This actually is an Aquarius card. So you're going right into King of Cups, Knight of Cups, Six of Wands. So I'm going to give you a couple of different examples of what this could be. I'm speaking to a couple here where one of you stepped out on the connection. Whatever step out means. Hung out with your friends too much, spent too much money, entertained a third party. And now it's like we're going to get back together again and we're totally going to pretend that that didn't happen. That's not going to last very long. That's not conducive to healing the connection. Here's another example. You're with your partner and one of you stepped out. Let's say it was them. They stepped out on you and you're choosing now to move in a new direction. You're immediately entering another connection. There's no healing here. This is a job. You were terribly screwed over at work. You know, someone betrayed you, someone backstabbed you, someone made sure that you got fired or that you were pushed to your limit, so you quit abruptly. And you're immediately starting a new job. And I think it's wonderful that you want to do that, but you still haven't processed the betrayal. So that's what's happening here. I feel like you need to transmute the betrayal, the pain of the betrayal. I think it'll be incredibly powerful for you to do that. Again, whether you created it or you participated in it or you were just a victim of it, it still needs to be addressed, whether you're looking for reconciliation or moving in another direction. There's something here about gaining knowledge from what transpired here. So if you bypass this lesson, and again, I'm not a fear-mongering tarot reader, but if you bypass transmuting this pain, I feel like this is going to happen again at the next situation, environment, or connection. Because in every 10 of Swords, there's a lesson. And before you fully move forward, move on, and pretend like that never happened, I feel like you have to get a little bit in touch with your feelings. Travel to Waters card here. And really process what took place here. I don't feel like you have processed it at all. Let's get you 3 cards of advice for processing that pain. One more shuffle. Thank you. Processing the pain. 9 of Swords to the 2 of Cups. There's something here about this connection that still haunts you. Whether you want them back or not, or you're fixing it or not, or you're moving along, that professional, platonic, or romantic connection, something still plagues you about it. 3 of Cups, bottom of the deck, 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. I mean, for some of you, maybe this was third party. And again, whether you did it, they did it, I don't know. But something still plagues you about it. And you have a lot of emotions about this. 3 Cups plus 2 is 5. So we have the second decan of Cancer. We have the first decan of Cancer. And the 5 of Cups is Scorpio energy. So, which is Death card. So there's something here where this connection ended or radically transformed. And there's a lot of remorse and regret over it. And I feel like it would be more empowering for you to confront those feelings as opposed to pretending they didn't happen. Also, if this is third party, there's something here about going within and understanding the lesson about either why you initiated or created the third party or why you engaged in a third party. Because there's a lesson there, there's knowledge there for why you, like I said, either, you know, I don't know what point you are on the triangle, but there's knowledge there to be learned about why or how did you become a point on that triangle. Like, did you not address relationship issues and just stepped out of the connection? Did you ignore the red flags that your person was stepping out on you? Did you enter a connection with someone who was already in a long-term committed partnership? And like, why did you do that? Were you emotionally unavailable? And that's why you connected with someone else who was emotionally unavailable because they were in another relationship. So again, I don't know where you are, if this is a triangle, but if that's the case, I think there's some knowledge here that needs to be learned about why you participated in it, regardless of what point you're on. Let's get you 3 cards of advice here. We have the Lovers, the Ten of Cups. Yeah, somebody made a bad decision here or didn't handle something the way they should have. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Ten of Swords, the Ending, the Chariot, and the Seven of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands. There's something here about pausing. And I know some of you don't want to hear it, but whether that is professional, platonic, or romantic connection that came to an end, whether there was outside interference or not, I think someone, and that's you, the someone is you, needs to kind of pause in that Seven of Pentacles. I know that you want to start the new job and hop into the next relationship and find the next friend and all of that. And you can do that if you want, right? I'm not telling you not to. You have the divine gift of free will. But that Ten of Swords is going to plague you. That showed up twice here in 2 different decks. So you're still taking the pain with you as opposed to learning it and processing it. You know what I mean? And understanding your role in it and processing the pain and transmuting the pain into power. I feel like all you do is drag emotional baggage with you into the next chapter. It will affect the next blank, the next job, the next friendship, the next relationship. You're still carrying it with you. So there's something here about kind of pumping the brakes a little bit on reconciliation or like moving forward until this is like formally processed and formally addressed. And if this is a job, I'm not telling you to not find another job until you process this, but you still need to process this. Otherwise, you're just bringing all of that resentment into your new place of employment. Ace of Wands, there's that Justice and Judgment. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords. I know you're interested in the new, but there's definitely something here about processing what transpired. There's an important lesson there for you, and what that lesson is different for all of you. But if you, I heard denote or create some time in the energy of the new moon in Gemini to understand what transpired here and your role in it. I feel like the answers you need are coming. Conclusions are then within reach, and you can formally close out that cycle, that chapter. Even if you're going to reconnect with the person, I just don't see how you can do any of that. Totally move on or reconnect if that's not emotionally healed within you. That is what I have for you. If you like those messages, if they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.